I don't care. But he's riding now. I mean, it's, when it's decent, so.
I try to plow it. I plow it every time it snows.
That's why he's riding it. Quit plowing it, he'll quit riding.
Can we try for like March 1st, then have them do it like March 1st?
That's fine.
So, like,
I always feel bad for the people.
Or
that
weather
fly.
permitting if they can get up there.
Yeah, so it's just that one.
Yeah. We have legislation in the village. You gotta get outside the village. It was visible sitting there. It wasn't really, not really attractive, but I could see why people, you have to go from, if you don't go there, you gotta go clear out the 322. Then walk down there a half a mile, so.
Is there a better place to put it?
No, I think now you have one on both ends. You got, 5 miles between. It's like, it's probably a good place to put it. Plus, we can see it, which helps.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
We can delete number 1. We can delete number 1.
Okay. Could I have a motion to accept the minutes of January 14th?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? All right, they're accepted. There being no old business, go right to new business. Personnel.
As far as personnel goes right now, Tiffany Wolfe was our part-timer that was just making it through FTO training. She did end up resigning. The reason she wanted to resign is she was able to get a grant to go back to school for cosmetology. So she makes more money doing that than she does working for the police department. So she'll be missed, but it didn't cost a lot of money for her to be here. So hopefully Patrick works out. I think he will.
Where's he coming from?
Where's Patrick from?
Patrick from Parma, he just graduated from police academy in the spring. I remember that. This will be his first police job. He was an auxiliary for Lakewood, but it was very public, so they weren't allowed to do anything.
Aaron, make sure you press your button.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Were you able to hear that? Okay.
We don't have a lot scheduled yet this year. It looks like the training costs are more expensive this year, possibly for making up for last year. Dawson is going to be attending a firearms instructor course, and we're preparing some lesson plans in-house for training for range and defensive tactics.
Stats, you want to review the stats?
Yeah, would you like me to read them?
I don't think so. Everybody has them here, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Anybody have
they're
any
in there.
questions on-
They're a little bit lower than last year, but, the guys are still pretty cautious on their traffic stops.
Sure. Anything big that we should, anything that's out of line for you? Anything?
No, Nope.
So I read the police blotter in the Post. There's things there that kind of, like, what? So I wonder if we can't somehow get a system there that, I don't know.
Here's the problem. So when a call initiates, it goes through the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office takes down and writes in the CAD call comments, the initiating, whatever the person calling says. So what normally happens is, the first thing said to dispatch is always, or in most cases, an exaggerated scenario, okay? So that exaggerated scenario can't be changed because it's exactly what was said by the person calling in. So that is the information that goes on the blotter because that's the header of the actual call. So when they request all the calls, that's what they're getting is that header and the first piece of information from dispatch. Now, when we go there, that situation might change tenfold, and it might turn in from, from an assist, to a car crash. It could be anything. But that's where a lot of that miscommunication comes from.
One that struck me funny was a guy came in high on meth, supposedly. Came in the front door, ran out the back door. Yeah, couldn't find him, never caught up with, it's like, how the hell does a guy run through our police department from front to back?
That didn't happen here.
That's what it's,
That was over in the plaza, somewhere near Pizza Hut there.
when I read in the Post, like, here the guy came in the police department, ran from in the front door, out the back door, it's like, and then we couldn't catch him.
Yeah, no.
Isn't that what it said? Yeah. I mean, that's,
Yeah, so
so,
it just goes to show you, so the first part
well,
of
that's
the
what bothers
information-
me, is the fact, if
Yeah.
something like that were to happen, it shouldn't happen to start with, but if it did, we better find out why the hell it happened and how we stop it from, like, the other day, somebody texted me, was it you that texted me about a deer? The number wasn't in my you're in my contacts. They said a deer ran through C's Cafe, through the window of C's Cafe. Someone down there, here the deer did, it came in that,
Yeah.
right by the front door, ran through the front window and ran out the back door.
Right.
Didn't hit anything on the way, customers sitting there, cappuccino machines, like,
And then it got hit on Terra Creek.
I thought,
It
well,
actually
shit.
ran into a car on Terra Creek. Yeah.
I said, so they got a deer doing it, we got people doing it at our place, like, we one-upped them.
Now, and don't hesitate to call when you see something
I'm
weird
saying, I would
like that
hope,
and ask.
hopefully something like that would happen, this whole council would be aware of it, I'd be aware of it.
No, trust me. I call you anytime there's anything major that I think that you should know about that's going to cause any type of communication error or something that people are going to call you to ask about.
And it looks like a pretty sloppy police department, when you read that thing, it's like, how do you,
Aaron, can you look into that one?
Yeah.
did you see it?
I was here that day when that happened. He went to the rehab center. He came in the front, said he was high on meth.
Your button pushed?
Yeah, it's on. He ran in through the front, told them that he was high on meth and needed help. When they picked up the phone, he ran out the back door. We couldn't find him. We searched for,
Okay, as long as you didn't run it through our police department, I don't,
no, we interviewed him later. We did talk to him later. He said he found a basement door open to another business and he went in there and hid.
all right.
So I guess that covers the crimes, or is there any other?
No, I have some crimes. So we had a couple of thefts at the village apartments. Village apartments? Yeah. The suspect has been narrowed down. However, he denies any wrongdoing. So we're still looking at charges for him. We had, last month or the month before, we had a individual that we arrested for trespass at the library because of a mask issue. He was going into the library, causing a scene, and the employees told him, if you're not going to wear a mask, you have to leave. Well, they told him several times. He still insisted that he didn't have to leave. So our officers went there and told him, you're now trespassing because they asked you to leave. And he still didn't want to leave, and he ended up getting charged with trespass. Just last month, he went to He's actually going to just about every store he can to try to cause a problem. But he went to Walmart and did the same thing. Well, by the time we got to Walmart, he had exited the store, but he was still screaming profanities at the employees, so he was charged with disorderly conduct. So we just had another interaction with the same male yesterday at Giant Eagle. You know, so he went there, Giant Eagle told him, look, you have to wear a mask or you can't come in. He called the cops and wanted to report, but he's just trying to, you know, he's just one of those.
Getting his name in the paper.
Well, yeah, he's probably looking to, you know, file some type of suit, you know, against the stores or whatever.
From Middlefield?
No.
He lives in Trumbull County, and he's doing a lot of the same antics right now in Chardon, I heard today. Yesterday's incident, he had just come from court in Chardon for his arrest on the trespassing charge. He's from Trumbull County. Oh. Right, the one in November at the library.
So I think you're right, he's probably teed it up for a suit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
There's somebody to screw up.
Anything else, Joe?
no, not on crimes.
Equipment?
So the new Tahoe is being built. We don't know when it's going to be delivered yet. We did receive the check from the license plate reader that we sold back to the company for $10,200. That money normally goes into the general fund. However, we're gonna ask that council let us spend that money on new rifles and shotguns for the cruisers. That total comes out to about $13,200.
Is that on the agenda for tonight, or is it, how
Yeah.
that got, when does that get approved?
He was gonna ask you about it.
Yeah, it's coming up. So it's, you guys, it doesn't have to go to council. It just kind of has to, or does it? That portion of it? I don't think so. So you guys just have to approve it because the money comes out of the general fund instead of coming out of my budget.
So you say new rifles and.
Correct.
Are we trading in the old?
Yes, we would trade in the old ones. We currently have a credit of about $1,200 on some traded-in shotguns, our old shotguns. And after we get the new rifles, we would trade in our old rifles and probably get more of a credit.
So what do we carry now? Are we?
AR-15s, we have like 4 different brands. These would all be Daniel's Defense, which is a good brand. It actually is the same platform that our SWAT officer would be using, so.
How much shotguns? What do we carry?
Shotguns, we don't have anything that is usable. We had 2 old 870s and 2 old Mossberg 500s. They were just beat up. The sights wouldn't even stay up on the old Mossbergs anymore. And we had to cut the forearms down just to fit them in the cruisers, like 5 cruisers ago, on the 870s. So they were just worn out. We're gonna get Benelli Supernovas. So it's a 9-round tube. Yeah, Benelli. They're only $450 a piece, or $480 a piece. But they would have the pistol grip stock and the 9-round tubes and the ghost ring sights.
We carry both
Yes.
in all 4 units?
We would, yes, that's what we would do, is carry both in all 4 units.
So can we approve that?
Shotgun and a rifle.
Yeah, he just wanted to
Yeah.
have a motion and that way we.
I'll make the motion to permit you guys to use the money from the readers in the general fund for replacement of weapons.
A second. Aye.
When you purchase those, Joe, do you get ammo with them too?
No.
Okay.
So ammo has been very difficult to procure. However, we've placed an order. Our pricing is still pretty comparable to what it used to be. It's a little bit more expensive, but not like what the general public is paying. So we're still buying it at state bid pricing from Columbus. Keisler's down off of Route 70, and they've still come in real competitive.
So you guys will still have to procure that?
Yeah, well, we always have the ammo. We just placed a new order for ammo there. I think they told us it was like 4 to 6 months, didn't they?
Yeah, actually, they said 9 to 12, but we're expecting it in 4 to 6.
So we always keep ammo on hand, but, once we start going to ranges and, different things like that, we're gonna start using into it. So we placed a pretty good order.
So is there a legal requirement for ranges?
One time a
You
year,
get to qualify once a year?
Once a year.
Everybody has to, and there's a number of rounds you got to fire to qualify?
correct.
Hopefully, we're being prudent with the ammo, with this.
Yeah, well, we qualify a minimum of 4 times a year.
What's that?
We qualify a minimum of 4 times a year here,
But you're required once a year, right?
once a year by law.
I'm saying until the ammo situation clears up, I would hope we wouldn't be out there shooting it up and run out.
Oh, no, no. Trust me, we're not going to put ourselves in a spot where we're in danger.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
cut back and meet the requirement, but don't.
Right.
Yeah, those lessons plans that we talked about, that's included in there. We're going to do a lot of range time that doesn't include actually shooting bullets, but more practicing clearing rooms and clearing cars and things of that nature.
Good.
Use the time wisely.
Thank you, Joe.
Yep.
Cameras? Police department camera system?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you have anything else on the equipment?
Just want to let you guys know where we're at. So Unit 4 is starting to get a little high on miles, right around 70,000. We have 10 officers and we have 4 cruisers. So just letting you know that, we're getting some good use out of them, but just keep in mind, once they start to hit 100,000 miles, they start to cost us some money. So we'll probably revisit that, later on this year, let you know how everything's going. But, I think our oldest is a 17 right now.
So you have a plan to rotate the vehicles in and out of service, right?
We do.
Okay. And how's that going with the program you have so far?
It's going okay. We just had Unit 1, which had some major repairs that would really crush our budget. So Unit 1 has been down since September of last year, so we haven't been using it. We've been down to 3 cruisers. So that's why I think Unit 4 is getting so many miles on it. But, once that new Tahoe comes in, hopefully within the next 4 or 5 months, we'll be able to start getting things back into the swing of things. But I'd like to look at it a little bit closer, maybe with 2 of you from the committee, but maybe look at the plan to see if the plan would last longer if we had 1 more car, or if it would be beneficial to just stay with the 4. But I think it's something we need to look at.
Makes sense. Keep the miles down on all of them.
It would keep 2 people in a car for that period, and then a car would normally last 5 years. Where when you have that 1 cruiser that has 3 guys in it, you have 1 car that's hitting 100 and 120,000 miles a year and a half faster than the other 3. So it kind of throws the program out of whack. We buy one, we have 1 year off, then we buy 2. Or we buy 1 and then we buy 2. So you have a year off, you buy 1, you have a year off, you buy 1, and then you buy 2. But is normally how it works. But like I said, with being full staffed, it's a little different than it's ever been before.
Does day shift use 2 cruisers and night shift uses 2 other ones?
The way we try to rotate it.
An advantage having them inside?
Inside a building? Not really. I mean, in the wintertime, yes. Normally what
Or
happens.
of course, we don't wear them out anyhow.
No.
I
They
mean-
run out of engine and suspension stuff, the bodies
That's-
don't.
Yeah,
never mind.
that's the part that gets beat up is the engine and the suspension.
A lot of run hours.
Yeah, and idle hours.
Okay?
All right, so the police department camera system is actually not just a police department camera system, it's a whole building camera system. So our camera system watches all sides of the whole building, around the fire department, around the village municipal side, the parking lots, all of our vehicles, the entryways, the safe inside the building here, our lobby, different things like that. The whole system to redo is right around $10,500. That's with new cameras, new updated recorder, and the ability to look at any camera on your phone whenever needed. So, but
Who monitors those
those
cameras
cameras,
feeds
they're,
now?
they're normally just kept
Recorded?
on the recorder. Yep, and the recorder loops, it's like a 7-day loop. So if we need something off of there, we have a camera inside the interview room. So if we have something that's going on in the interview room, we record it, and then we have Carla burn us a disc of that, you know, when she comes back in. If we have a problem in the lobby, same thing, you know, that type of thing. Otherwise, it just loops over every 7 days.
It makes sense to run the feed up to Geauga Sheriff, or would they even want it?
No.
Couldn't do anything with it.
Well, then again, it becomes their material instead of ours.
It just becomes redundant. I mean, the biggest thing is to keep us safe, you know, with all the different things that go on with,
Yeah. Oh, I understand that there, I was just thinking, is there, if no one's monitoring it 100%, then maybe there, we know they have their dispatch. Any chance the fire department would like to participate in part of that?
I don't think so. You know, we talked to them before. They asked about putting a camera on one side of their building, and I said we would be glad to entertain that if they paid for the price of that camera. But I haven't talked to Matt about it in this quote.
Where do you want to put them?
Every place that the cameras are now.
Does it include that where they asked for it?
No.
No?
So it's basically the
The
same,
entrance, the parking lot, the
So-
safe.
yeah, on each corner of the building. So it watches this side of the parking lot, it watches this side of the parking lot. It can see this doorway, our doorway, the safe, the lobby, our interview room, the old booking room, and then 2 on the back corners of the building. So they can see both bay doors and where we park our personal cars.
Is that the current system, or is that what you want to do?
It's the same thing,
So you want to upgrade cameras and recording ability?
correct.
Because the current system's not working?
No, the current system is working, it's just super out of date. So the cameras are old. They can't, if a camera goes down, I have to buy a whole new camera that's not supported by the old camera system.
How's the picture quality and what you have?
It's fair. It's probably about 720. So I mean, the picture quality is pretty good. You can tell, you can almost read a license plate here in the parking lot.
With the current?
Yeah.
Now, is the new one gonna be,
Yeah, the new one would be 1080
okay,
color. And it needs updated. It's easier to access. It's easier to record. It's easier to burn to a disk.
How old is the old system, Joe?
Almost 10.
Wow. I thought technology doubled every 5 years. We're a little behind.
So I have limited experience in this, but I found that there's a camera that you get that shows great during the day, or you have to buy a camera if you want to read license plates at night, because that camera, the day camera, reflects off that plate. You can't read anything on that plate.
So the cameras that we have now are pretty decent because,
The ones that read night have a really crappy quality picture, in my opinion, for daytime.
yeah,
So to me, if you can't read a plate,
our cameras at nighttime, like even the ones that we have, it's a different camera than like the camera system you have. So ours are in a constructed dome, and he can set the clarity of what it's looking at. So I don't think any of the ones that we currently have are good enough to see or to read a license plate, but I mean, it's pretty clear.
They have
So-
some now too, where you can change the settings, so they'll flip to infrared once it gets dark out and give you a different picture at night than what you would get at the day. So
Right,
you-
but like the ones he has, when it goes to night, it goes down like 70%.
This will probably more like a night vision, like a real high ISO versus infrared.
it's not bad, but it's like the daytime camera's a much better overall picture.
Yeah.
we consider adding one
plan on
more.
doing that, Joe?
As soon as possible. I mean, we'd like to have it updated. I think it's just important for overall safety for the
Do we
village.
have it in our budget?
Yeah, you guys have it in your
That's the
budget.
biggest thing there.
Yeah. Because I would ask that the village pay for it. I don't have it within my budget.
So it'd come out of the general fund.
Correct.
We need a motion on
Yeah,
that?
and so we talked about this last year, just before COVID hit, and you guys approved it. However, just about the time I was getting ready to get it done, we stopped all major spending on anything that wasn't necessary.
This has already been approved
Yeah,
once.
so I didn't do it. I just got the quote updated again this year, so you guys can make another decision to make sure it was okay.
By a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, will they take the old system into trade, Joe? Or could we use those cameras anywhere? Could we put them elsewhere and get some benefit out of it?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I'll ask Matt to make sure.
You have cameras at the water station, water,
Water park?
water mark?
Water plant?
Yeah. Is there cameras over
Splash
there?
park, you mean?
At the water plant.
Oh, the water
No,
plant.
we don't have anything at the water plant.
That might not be a bad
Maybe,
place to put
why,
them.
why don't we do that?
That's a good idea.
I'll check with him.
Somebody digging around, screwing around your water.
I mean, it would be, it would really be probably a good idea to see any vehicle that comes in and out of either plant.
I just saw a report this
Yeah.
week of somebody hacking into a water plant
The hacker, yeah.
and poisoning the wa, trying to poison the water.
Right. It's a good idea.
Should we also put one at the water treatment or the sewage treatment plant? I mean, might as well protect all our facilities.
Yeah, so what I'll do is, as soon as Matt's done with this one, I'll have him quote a camera, at least one, at each location, at the well field, at the water plant, and at the sewer
I
plant.
don't have Wi-Fi at the, do you have Wi-Fi there?
We have radio connection there.
There's radio, there's not Wi-Fi, but we could put.
Hardwire it?
Yeah.
Or we could hardwire it, yeah, there, it would just, we'll have to look at all the options.
Yeah.
and See what's the best.
Okay, so you'll have the current one done for this building here, and then you'll get.
I'll get the other one quoted and let
Good
you know.
idea, good idea.
Yep.
Bam.
If we could sell those cameras on Gov deals. Okay,
Usually-
any general discussion?
So we did a lot of cleaning and organizing of the squad room. So we took all the desks out because what happened was the desks were just becoming dumping sites. And the squad room was just looking like garbage. So in the 21 years that I've been here, that room is the cleanest that it's ever looked. So Lieutenant Grayley got with the guys and said, look, do you guys want desks or do you just want to put the big conference table back here and have the two workstations, with the computers? And everybody agreed. The desks were just dumping stations. So we got all the desks, we moved them out to the back garage, and we brought the conference table out there and we put the tables around it, and it looks amazing. Everybody loves
Have any
it.
pictures?
No, but you're welcome to stop by and take a
Yeah, I
look.
will. I'll take a look at that.
So during that process, we had like 5 phones that were on each of the officers' desks. So the officers were not really using those phones for much, but they always had a phone on their desk. So that should be another savings to the village, that the village can do away with 5 of those phone lines. And hopefully, I think that comes out of my budget, but lower that
Yeah,
phone bill,
great.
to get rid of some of those lines. Detective Boxler is doing a fantastic job in all of his investigating. However, he has asked that the department possibly give him a cell phone for use when he's working cases. So the problem he has is if he's getting callbacks or something on his days off, because they're sometimes off for 2 days or 3 days on the weekend, is that he's not getting those callbacks until he gets back to the station. So it's something we're looking at. I think with the totality of the cost of getting rid of those 5 phone lines, I think we could probably spare a little money to get him a cell phone so he can
So
do
this
some of
is
that.
a department cell phone that he would carry with him?
Correct.
24/7?
Yep.
That sounds like a good trade-off.
Joe, I see that some of the municipalities around, northeast Ohio, have requested the governor and the Department of Health put you guys on, police departments and fire departments on the essential personnel list for the COVID-19 vaccines.
Correct.
I would like the village to send, a letter down to Columbus and let them know that we back that idea.
Actually, our president of our Chiefs of Police Association for the county just sent a letter last month to the governor, expressing that exact thought. So,
Yeah, because I think it really needs to be done.
Doing anything with the schools, Joe?
what's that?
Anything with the schools?
We're doing what we normally do. So we're there for arrival, we're there for dismissal, we're there for early release. We're trying to make as many visits as we can for lunch periods. We did have to write a juvenile a citation on Button Street day before yesterday. He was doing 42 and a 25 on Button Street where, you know, the nursing home is and everything else. But, you know, we've warned him a bunch of times. We keep telling him, you got to slow down. You can't be driving